Good morning, John Mason from Mason and Associates. If you're receiving this video today, you are likely retired military already receiving retired pay, or you're retired military under the reserves, either receiving retired pay or in that gray area where it hasn't started yet. So the reason for this video is we finally have the rules on the military survivor benefit open season, specifically how to enroll in survivor benefits. Because remember, the last update we provided, there was no rules on how to opt in. There were only rules on how to opt out. So a couple things we wanted to hit on today now that we have a little more rules. One, you may be watching this video and you already have some form of survivor benefits, either A, the full amount, or B, a minimal amount, or child only, or something like that. Now, if you fall into that category where you already had some version of SBP as of December 22nd last year, this open season really isn't for you because you can't opt in for higher coverage. Your only option if you are already enrolled is to opt out. Now, our default recommendation is going to be if you have survivor benefits now, that was the right choice. So we're probably not going to recommend that you opt out. However, if that's a question or concern that you have, we'll definitely address it during our strategic planning meetings in April and May. And of course, there could be reasons, it's hard to think of them, on why you would want to opt out of SBP at this time, but certainly open to those questions and ready to talk about it during our strategy sessions if that's something that's on your mind. We do want to remind you that with survivor benefits, if you have it, you're only paying for it while you have it or while you're protecting a spouse. And what does that mean? So if I had survivor benefits and I'm protecting it for Sarah, and if Sarah were to predecease me, well, then I don't have to pay for survivor benefits anymore. So generally speaking, the longer you have it, the less likely that it makes sense to drop it. So for many of you that have it, I can't really see on the surface. We can't see on the surface why you would drop it at this point. But again, we're here for you if you have those questions. Conversely, if you're watching this video, chances are you retired under the military or retired under the reserves and you did not take survivor benefits, or you had child only and that child only had fallen off, meaning your child aged out before December 22nd of last year. This open season is for you and that you can now enroll in survivor benefits this year. Now, there are a few steps to enrolling in survivor benefits. I'll show you a web page here with the updated rules. But the first things first, we have to submit an interest form. And once that interest form is submitted, what will happen is they're going to give you an estimate on how much it costs to buy back into survivor benefits. The cost is going to be calculated a couple ways. One, they're going to go all the way back to when you retired and say, all those years of missed premiums, we have to pay them back. Two, there's going to be an interest charge. And three, which we're interested to see, they mentioned some sort of actuarial bogey or actuarial addition or premium that will be required for those folks enrolling in SBP during this open season. And the way they describe that is basically necessary because they know people are sick. They know people are dying who will be able to enroll in SBP. They're going to have to charge more because of adverse selection to make sure that the military retirement program, the survivor benefit program is financially solvent. So although we'd hate for you paying more for it, it seems to make sense on the surface that there would be an actuarial hit or additional premium required. So step one is going to be submitting this interest form. If you're watching this video and you do not have survivor benefits, our recommendation, we think, why not go ahead and submit the form and get those premiums calculated and send it to you. And once we have that data, then we can make a decision during our strategy meetings. Is this something we want to pursue? And which of those payment options do we want to select? Now, we know already from communicating to a few clients that the default recommendation here is it doesn't make sense, it's too expensive. That could very well be the case for you watching this video, or it may not be. And we are on your side, we're on your team. We want to make sure that you make the most educated and informed decision for your family. And in our opinion, we may come to the same conclusion that maybe you already came to. Too expensive doesn't make sense. It's just hard to get there without all of the necessary tools to make that decision. So our recommendation default is going to be, if you don't have SBP, let's submit that interest form. Let's see where we go. Let's see how much it costs, and then together make a really informed decision on either A, do we do it or do we not do it? And then B, how do we pay for it? So what I'm going to show you now is just some of the information that's available. So I'll share my screen with you here. I mentioned first, I wanted to show our website. So on our website, guys, we have on our blog page, blog and podcast, which is also now becoming our blog, our podcast, and our YouTube housing of the content that we're creating. We have a lot of information on open season, and there's more to come. If you are interested in a longer form content, episode 32 of the podcast talks about looking at this survivor benefit open season and making a really informed decision. If you're curious, we're also privileged and honored to be interviewed by Chris Horn, WAVY TV 10 on your side, talking about this survivor benefit open season. And I was pretty excited to show them the poker chips. When we used to be able to do a lot more in-person meetings, that was something that we felt was always like a big hit with clients, that visual. So if you haven't seen the poker chip story, then check out this interview on WAVY. We think you'll like it. And again, this is just more content that you can share amongst your family or among your friends and coworkers to help them make educated and informed decisions as well. So two interesting things that are already available for you to learn more about this open season. There is a special page on the DFAS website that's dedicated to the Survivor Benefit Plan open season. And you'll see that the open season began last year. It ends at the end of this year. And then you can click here to jump to the enrollment section. And it's important to note that in this enrollment section, there is a difference between those retired receiving pay and those who are retired in the gray area, so under that reserve category. For you reserve folks, that would be you retired, you had your 20-year letter, and you're waiting until 60 or 57, depending on active duty service, to activate that pension. So there are different rules for you here, but all of you in that category have the ability to enroll. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click here to jump to the enrollment section, and you'll see there is the download the letter of intent to enroll in SBP. Again, this is going to be our default recommendation. And when you click that link, it opens this PDF. And there are instructions on the PDF. I'll just scroll down a little bit so you can see it on where to send based on, are you retired, Navy, Army, Air Force, are you reserve? And it gives you some options here. Further, going back to the website, if you're retired, there's also an option here on how to upload it to DFAS. So check this out, read the rules, make sure you send it to the desired place, and then here you can see the 4-step process on how to enroll in SBP. So it's going to take a while, but step 1 is submitting this form. What I've gone ahead and done for all of you is I opened this in Adobe and I made it a fillable PDF. I think I did a pretty good job. So generally speaking, this is going to be for folks who want to enroll in SBP for a spouse. It's not fillable on all of the sections for child only and things of that nature. But if you encounter where this form is not fillable in the way you need it to be, let me know. We can update that internally and send you a fresh copy. So with this video, you're going to have a couple things. One, the video content that I've been sharing with you today. So you're going to have the video content from today. We'll send you the link to that DFAS website so you can read through all those rules and descriptions. I'll send you the blank PDF link that's available on the DFAS website, as well as the fillable PDF that we created to hopefully make your life a bit easier. So again, summarizing what we've talked about today. If you are retired and you have survivor benefits in any form as of December 22nd, this open season, the only thing you can do is drop it, and our default recommendation is going to be that probably doesn't make sense for you. If you did not have any version of survivor benefits as of December 22nd last year, this open season is for you, and it's your opportunity to enroll. It may not make sense, folks. It may be too expensive. It may not make sense, or it can make the difference in your life, in your spouse's life, your children, and for generations to come by making this decision to enroll in SBP during this once-in-a-lifetime open season. We believe, similar to the FEGLI open season of years past, that it doesn't hurt to get the process started, to get the data, and then ultimately make our financial or a decision that most makes sense for our financial plan. Let us know if you have any questions. We're super excited to talk about this during your strategy meetings, strategic planning meetings coming up here in April and May. We're Mason and Associates. We're here for you. I know you have our contact info, but it's masonllc.net, phone number 757-223-9898. Thanks, folks. And remember, check out our YouTube channel and our podcast and everything that's going on for updated content. We're really excited. So in our email description below in our signature, you'll have a link to both the podcast and YouTube channel as well. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.